Sims for Create a Sim D&D edition, where I take my D&D characters that I have created and actually drawn out in my sketchbook and try to recreate them in Sims. Now, you should be seeing the drawing of them on the side for a little bit, just so that you know, like, what I'm using as a point of reference. I don't leave it up during the whole video, just because that big giant square of the sketchbook to me would be annoying for the whole video, so it's just there for a little bit so you can see where I'm trying to go. Now, obviously with Sims, I do have some limitations, but this is my inspiration. This is how I sort of seen them in my head and drew them out, and now that's trying to be recreated in a Sim. I will be eventually taking all of these characters from the series and putting them into a house together as like a little mini-series to basically see what happens. I'm hoping to use a mod to give them 5 traits, as long as it's working at the time when I go to actually do that little mini-series, so that they have as much individual personality as possible. The likes and dislikes are now a thing, though in all honesty, like, a lot of times Sims still will do stuff even if they dislike it, which sort of annoys me. That's besides the point. I think they're less likely to do it, but sometimes they still do it, and then a little bubble pops up that they're complaining because they hate it. And I'm like, what? Well, don't do it then! Why are you doing it? So this lovely character I got here is named Surina, aka Andrith, Lady of the Heart. Now you're probably wondering, why in the world does she have a name like that? Well, you see, I like homebrew races and homebrew stuff. I try to stick somewhat close to it, but at the same time, at least when it especially comes to race type things, I tend to go homebrew. I have quite a few homebrew type stuff, or stuff that is slightly homebrew, like it's technically in D&D, but I alternate for a player type thing, or, you know, slightly change it up. But anyway, she is not your typical human or being or whatever, because she actually was a dragon who has now been cursed and stuck into this human body. So basically, she is a dragon, but she can't turn into her dragon form until, like, she gets the curse removed. So she does have the slight pointed ears to sort of represent that. She has, like, her dragon eyes still, just a little bit tinier, obviously. And she still has pointed teeth, and I give her very pointed nails. Other than that, she is human for now. So she's stuck in this human body, but she is a dragon, but she just sees this as sort of a new experience for her. Like, yeah, she's like, I sort of would like to have the curse removed so that I could choose to become a dragon when I want to and go back to my normal form, or choose to be a human when I want to. But for now, I'm just stuck in the one, so we're gonna deal with it. So Surina is the name that she has chosen to go by while she's in her human form. Andrith, Lady of the Heart, is her dragon name. So that's why she has like that double name, and it's like long and weird. So technically that is her name when she was a dragon, but right now she is taking the name Surina since she is sort of stuck in this way. Now the dragon that she was before is again homebrew version, because I really like the way rose gold looks. It's like that pinky gold color. So I even, like, before I even created this character, me and my boyfriend, we randomly just talk about stuff, especially when it comes to, like, D&D stuff. And I was, like, talking about what if there was a rose gold dragon? And basically we were just, as we were talking, we sort of came up with a rose gold dragon, and the rose gold dragon's, like, thing is mostly about love. So they really try to sort of butt in when it comes to love and encourage it. So that is like their whole like big thing, is like, you know, they're like, they see a couple together, oh y'all are perfect together, y'all should like just go ahead and get married. Like, so, sort of they butt in that thing. So it's like, and like the metallic dragons are supposed to be the nicer dragons, while the chromatic dragons are the evil ones. I hate that sometimes dragons just automatically get bumped to evil, because even sometimes there's even some cases where the metallic dragons are the nicer ones, but they're, like, if I remember correctly, when it comes to some of them, sometimes, like, they will do things if it means protecting what they think is right. So sometimes, you know, murder is okay. But yeah, I like the thought of nice dragons. Now, obviously, there should be some evil dragons too, but the fact that all chromatic dragons just automatically get roped into being evil, I don't necessarily like. I'm okay with a few chromatic and a few metallic being evil, but but red's also my favorite color, so maybe that's partially also why. Anyway, metallic dragons are generally good-hearted and they're more open to basically being involved with like the humans and elves, all the other little tiny creatures to them tiny creatures. Rose gold would be one of the metallic dragons and has a lot to do with love. So yeah, this is definitely homebrew. She's a cursed dragon for one, and then she's a cursed rose gold dragon. So I just had to make her a little extra on the homebrew side. But anyway, I really liked this character. She doesn't have like a huge, deep, long backstory compared to some of the other ones. It's basically just she travels around trying to help some of the other creatures find love, and her herself likes finding love, but she also gets in some ways distracted, I guess. Or like she's very open-minded when it comes to love and stuff like that, so she's not necessarily settled down with one, or even if she is sort of settled down with one, she doesn't necessarily stay with that one for long. But she views love open and in many different ways. That is, and like in my head, she basically just ended up messing around with or fooling around with the wrong person, and the other person got very annoyed. Most likely would have probably been another dragon to be a curse strong enough to keep her in a human form. But yeah, she just got involved with the wrong the wrong people, the wrong dragons, whatever. And one of them cursed her because they were like, stop this. Now you're stuck like that forever. Now you can't be your amazing big dragon form. How do you feel about that? Surina doesn't care. Surina's like, alright, I'll deal with this. I at least get to interact with the human folk and stuff a lot now, and they would be none the wiser, other than the fact that my eyes still look like this and I have pointed teeth. But hey, it's fine. I'll deal with it. I can now wear cute clothes and stuff like that and try to learn, how humans deal with things. A little bit more. So she just takes this as a new learning experience. And I do imagine that she would be frequently at places that are like taverns and bars and stuff. Like that would be a frequent place that you would find her. And probably also anything that was like a talent show, music thing, like singing, opera, those sort of things. I'm forgetting the names of what those buildings and places are sometimes called. I know there's like an opera house, but the ones that do more than just that, like they have different other forms of entertainment as well. So like, there might be someone singing, there might be a play going on. Because I think there's something anyway, whatever. I know there's like a theater, but I feel like there's like an olden school name that would be used like in D&D terms more. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is just a theater. Now, with her her class and subclass in D&D world, she is a monk, and she is of the, I forgot to for some reason write it down, but it's the draconic one, either draconic bloodline or is that for another subclass? It's actually the exact same thing as Era from like the Evolutions group, but obviously these two would be done very differently. They are the same, but it just sort of fit with her. Like, I wanted her to be a monk that you mainly use, like, her fists and things like that. She does have weapons, though, but she would channel the stuff through the weapons, and they're fans. I really wanted a character to have fans, and I just thought it would be really interesting for her to actually have fans as weapons. So the edge of the fans are actually very sharp. So they do cut, but she can also channel, like, the power and stuff through there, because with the draconic one for the monk, they can use elements. That is her whole, like, D&D thing, and basically, she just wants to help people find love, while also trying to eventually find a way to remove the curse. But also, she's trying to learn about the little creatures that, she, as they would probably be to her, when she was in her dragon form. She's trying to learn more about them, since now she's stuck in this body, and she's sort of communicating with them all the time. Now, she is going to end up in the same group with Minka, so if you remember Minka from, like, a few videos back, and I was talking about how I added Minka to, like, a group of people and they now travel, like they're sort of traveling together at this point, but I decided after I had like created stories for all these characters. Well, Surina is a part of that group, and I will let you know that this group is definitely a little bit of oddballs. They're all homebrew to some extent. This whole entire group, there's 5 of them. So Surina's the second one that you will get to see in the group. I think the next video to steal is not people in this group, because like I said, I made this group after the fact. Like I decided these characters were going to travel together after the fact. So yeah, but yeah, Surina is in the same group with Minka, so that is like they end up running into each other and like clicking. I'll go more into detail with the group dynamic in the video of the last person in the group, which I don't know when that's gonna be. Think if I'm doing the math in my head right, it's the 5th character from now, because there's going to be 2 characters not a part of the group, and then there's going to be 3 characters in a row that are part of this group. Back to Surina here. So with like dressing her in the colors and stuff like that, I did want her to have a lot of light colors, just because, you know, a lot of times with love and things like that, it is projected with light colors. When you think of like Valentine's Day, it's like one of the holidays about love. There's reds, whites, purples, pinks. So that was sort of where I was going with her. I do imagine that she would wear some black, and eventually I actually made her skirt black, just because a lot of the skirts wasn't fitting the style that I was wanting them to, because they were going too high up on her stomach, or they were too long, and technically her skirt's pretty short. And she also has like a detail going on, like on the skirt that holds the fans. So this skirt was not going too high, it wasn't too long, and it had like the little chains that technically, you know, would be holding the fans if I had them in Sims. So ultimately that's why I decided to go with it. And like I said, I would imagine that I would see her wearing black every once in a while. She just gets that vibe, like I would feel like she would accessorize more with black than like make it a main color. But since I sort of had to do this, I ended up, like, the skirt just fit the best to me, and I gave her little black flats just to sort of complement the skirt. I did experiment with dragon wings just to see if maybe on a second outfit I would want to give her dragon wings, so every once in a while her dragon wings somehow do poke out somewhat. So yeah, that was just a little fun thing to give homage to the fact that she's technically a dragon. Maybe every once in a while they pop out. But yeah, I hope you like Surina and how she turned out. Oh, I didn't mention her stuff for the Sims stuff. So Sims related, I do this. She does have the serial romantic aspiration. Obviously, she likes love. She doesn't necessarily commit. She thinks love's pretty open, but she also sees the importance to some people for settling down, and she thinks it's really nice and stuff like that, and she encourages it. Obviously, she has the romantic trait, and that is one of the main ones I gave her. Art lover, outgoing, adventurous, and loves outdoors is the other ones. She would be mostly outdoors, being a dragon, so obviously loves outdoors. Also, it says loves in the title. Not gonna lie, that's part of the reason why I picked it. Same with art lover, though dragons tend to be collectors of things, so again, that sort of fits with the dragon, but also the fact that it has love in it. She loves art. She likes art. She would collect art, probably. I don't know. I actually already decorated her room, and I don't know if I put enough art in her room now that I think about it. But anyway. And outgoing and adventurous will be the ones that I will hopefully be adding on after the fact. Obviously, she is very talkative. She wants to talk to people. She wants to find out about their love lives, basically. And adventurous, partially tied to the dragon, but also tied to the fact that she's now going to be traveling around. Like, I think she finds it exciting to go see these things and learn more about the world around her through a different set of eyes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry I keep forgetting to talk about the Sims traits until like the very end. But I hope you like how Surina turned out. Let me know down in the comments below if you like her. Is she one of your new favorites? Or is there still a few other ones that you like more than her? Let me know your thoughts on her story and everything. Hope you're looking forward to the future D&D characters. If so, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss them. As well as hit that lovely like button, comment, notification bell. You know all that lovely YouTube giddiness. And I'm going to be in the video for now. But I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!